Why do you think more girls don't do YouTube?
I have no idea. No idea in the slightest.
I don't have an explanation for this, I don't know why.
I don't know what the reason is.
That's a complicated question.
I don't really have an answer.
I don't know. It's difficult. It's a good question.
So,
Boy, do I have answers for this question.
Don't flame my eyes. These are some questions I ask myself when I see people living without going ahead.
You can do this.
Can I though, Jack?
All we have to do is sit here,
On your lap? Really?
tell the truth, and be honest.
Be honest and tell the truth. I can do one or the other, Jack, but I can't do both. Hello. Welcome back to, a week is a long time on YouTube. Since the last Becoming YouTube video in which I interviewed King of the Nerd Fighters John Green, quite a lot has happened.
It's time to tell the truth.
Shh. John Green interviewed President Obama in what I like to think of as a game of YouTube interview tag, whereby I interview John Green, 2 weeks later John interviews the President of the United States, next week the President of the United States interviews Dan and Phil, and so on. When Marcus Butler interviews French President Francois Hollande, we'll know that it's about time for Nerimon's 2013 YouTube survey. In other news, 2 became 1 as YouTube's Jacksgap channel, starring Jack Harris and his twin brother Finn, hit 1 million subscribers, prompting Jack to drop the F-bomb, revealing that the past 18 months of Jacksgap have in fact been a harrowing account of one man's gradual decline into chronic schizophrenia.
What I'm trying to say is, Finn is fake. He doesn't exist. He never has, and he never will.
Jack's revelation sparked global unrest. The Pope resigned in protest. He'd been subscribed to Jacksgap since the very beginning and was devastated to discover that all this time he'd been worshipping a beautiful, benevolent, all-knowing, all-powerful, imaginary being who doesn't really exist. Satire there? True though. Meanwhile, Tom Scar released Ast of Movie 6, Crabsticks poked fun at nerd fighters.
Anything else? DFTBA. Yep. Don't forget to be awesome. I know. I'm a nerd fighter. Oh shit.
The heartless bastard. And Unnecessary Otter made Hazel Hayes cry, and YouTube's automatic captions service melt.
I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you, but you were so difficult. I don't feel like you ever really understood me.
Not a clue. Oh, and the Harlem Shake became a thing. Everyone from the Norwegian army to Kick the PJ contributed to this viral internet meme in which participants spend 15 seconds humping, 15 seconds convulsing, and a lifetime regretting. Here's the Harlem Shake I made with my mate Drew. For copyright reasons I can't use Bauer's actual Harlem Shake music in Becoming YouTube, so I've redubbed it, but you'll hardly notice the difference. Good. So, this Becoming YouTube is all about girls. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you are one. Currently, 82.4% of my audience is female. Hello ladies. And just over half is aged 13 to 17, so backing away now. But this split is typical of a male vlogger's audience demographic. And as you may have noticed, the majority of the most crazy internet famous YouTubers are male. Makeup gurus aside, females struggle to make it big on YouTube, and that's a bit shit. This video aims to find out why. To talk this through, I'm introducing to the Becoming YouTube mix 3 new interviewees who will be sticking about for the rest of the run too. So far this series you've heard from these guys. Charlie McDonnell, seen here putting on an invisible helmet, probably for your safety as much as his. A mushroom dressed as an atlas. Jesus Christ, Posh and Bex, Justin Bieber as played by Jim Carrey, David Tennant, Riversong, Anton Deck, a beard, a fringe, a girl, and a woman whose animal spirit is a dead stoat. But now joining them is rising YouTube star and purple-haired behemoth Emma Blackery.
I never thought this was going to happen to me, as cheesy as that sounds.
Teacher, vlogger, anti-bullying campaigner and Save the Children ambassador Lindsay Atkin, aka Lilies Are Like.
The reason I started making the YouTube videos was because of my son Charlie McDonnell, otherwise known as Charlie Is So Cool Like.
And after my recent Becoming YouTube video on Nerdified Terrier, he hailed 9 Brass Monkeys as, I quote, his favourite YouTube channel of the moment. So a couple of weeks ago in London, I met up with, yes, you asked for it, an American. Ladies and gents, hold on to your pants, it's musician, vlog brother and bloody nice bloke, Hank Green, who'll be lending Becoming YouTube a transatlantic perspective.
I have a hard time with you British people. I have no idea what you're talking about most of the time. There's a lot of different British accents, and I have no idea what's going on.
So let's make like Jack's Gap and split. Which doesn't really work as a link. So just bring on this next bit, which is about fangirls, cute boys and the objectification of women.
It'd be lovely if more girls made video blogs. Maybe they do and they're just not getting as much popularity.
I don't think that there is a lack of girls out there vlogging. I think the problem is that they're not popular, they're not successful.
Males were more popular in the beginning of YouTube because the sort of people that are interested in watching vloggers are more likely to be girls than boys, because boys are more likely to want to watch Tomskar and Minecraft.
It's about an 80-20 split of girls to boys watching YouTube, like watching our kind of YouTube, like video blogs and stuff. And girls, especially 15-year-old girls, like to watch boys.
It's hard to talk about really complexly because people don't really want to recognize that some people just want to have an idol.
If you want to get fans, it's girls who, like, girls obsess over stuff.
It's proven, it's been proven for ages. Look at the Beatles, and then now you've got One Direction who have all these fans, the same sort of fans, the girls that latch on.
They creep in here somewhere, one bloody direction. God, if they start doing YouTube videos, we'd all be screwed.
Yeah, we would, yeah.
Your relationship doesn't have, with that creator, doesn't have to be the same as that person's relationship. And so if you look at it and you're like, I obviously don't like Dan and Phil because Dan and Phil fans are like on their knees screaming with joy because they, you know, saw them across the room. That doesn't have to be your relationship with that creator. No. You know, that's my relationship with Dan and Phil, of course, is that whenever I even think about them, I get wet. But
Some people just go for looks. They want to see a cute boy on the screen, you know, and that's all you really have to have, you know. But with girls, they're not looking at, you know, how attractive you are. They're seeing if you make good content, if you're relatable, if you're funny. And girls do get judged a lot more than guys, I think.
There are a load of girls making makeup tutorial videos and they do really well, but it shouldn't have to be that. It shouldn't be, you know, if you want to be a female on YouTube, to be a makeup guru.
Why can't a girl go on YouTube and just do a stupid video, like over the top and ridiculous? I don't know what it is. I don't think it's necessarily the girl YouTubers that feel like they can't do that. I think it's the audience that kind of puts them in their place in a weird way.
I would assume that there are more kind of male comedians in the world than there are female comedians, so it's probably a similar thing to that.
I don't know if it's because there's a pressure on women to talk about being a woman, and that makes the content less funny.
Men are encouraged throughout their lives to be funny. We have to be to get girlfriends or to get friends, but with girls, they're just not as much encouraged. All they have to do is, you know, play along and be skinny, and then everything gets a little easier for them. It's this objectification of women that ruins their YouTube careers, because either it turns them, it can turn them vain, or it just encourages them not to get better. There is no middle ground. There's either you're ugly, go away, or there's you're so hot, you don't need talent. And I hate the internet. What have they done?
Is a woman saying that a man is funny the equivalent of a man saying that a woman is hot? And yes, I know society is a cruel, unjust, judgmental fuck. I'm sorry. But note that almost all of the most viewed Harlem Shake videos on YouTube feature either predominantly or exclusively men. Is this because women are more reluctant to be seen dicking about, or because audiences are less comfortable watching funny women? Could a girl make it as big on YouTube just from making videos where she dances around in her pants, or knocks back cinnamon, or lists 10 things she's noticed?
Hello! My name's Marcus Butler, and today's video is 10 things that I've noticed. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I'll go to open my curtains and it will still be dark outside. Have you ever noticed when you're using your phone a lot throughout the day, so you know, sending lots of texts, emails, taking pictures, and then the battery goes really low, but then sometimes it will completely run out. Sometimes I'll be walking along the street and I'll see a dog and it will be a border collie, Have you ever noticed when you go to make a cup of tea and it's really hot, but then when you go to drink it, it's really cold? I get really sad from that. When I'm on a bus and it's really busy, sometimes there isn't an empty seat, so I end up having to stand for the whole journey.
Marcus Butler sure does notice a lot of things, doesn't he?
That when you get an email from a Nigerian prince and they want all your bank information, so you send it, and then suddenly you have no money in your bank. What? Why does that happen? Have you ever noticed when...
Hey Marcus, Ben and I were going to go down to the pub for a drink. Do you want to join us?
I'm probably going to be a while longer. I've got to continue noticing some things. So for example, you know when someone walks through a door and you see them open the door and they poke their head around and you notice them, but then they kind of leave. I mean, do you ever get that?
Perhaps men aren't quite so worried about how they might look on camera, whereas girls, you know, I always think, oh, do I look a bit tired, or have I, you know, or whatever.
I wish girls would just make videos because they have something to say rather than worrying about how their hair looks or how their makeup's done.
Sort your hair out. That sounded a bit violent.
In the media in general, there's definitely more pressure on girls to kind of look a certain way, whereas there's less pressure on the boys.
Thanks.
It's more nerve-wracking for girls to be on camera because of the way they might not think that they look right for it, when there is no... I've always said that there is no perfect way to look or a right way to look.
I look like an aardvark, don't I, after I just said that to you? Sexy aardvark.
I want to focus more on content than looks, says me with the purple hair, but you know, I'm trying to see it as less of a bigger deal, and I hope that other people think that as well.
A lot of girls have actually sent me videos or said, oh Lindsay, what should I do? And I've said, oh, just, you know, sit in front of a camera and just have a go. Perhaps I just feel a little bit nervous about it.
With guys, if guys act really extroverted, most of their friends are going to be like, you're a lad, you're great.
Yes, there may be a deep down reason for guys to want to be more, look at the cool things I can achieve.
Whereas if girls are really confident and do things, a lot of the time their girlfriends are going to be like, you're weird, why are you so attention seeking? Like there's just a bitchy culture with girls, so they're going to sit around going, what are you doing, you weirdo? Whereas guys are going to be like, hey, you're mental.
The amount of comments that I've seen on my own YouTube videos where people say kind of that female YouTubers are annoying, and I feel like, and I've kind of watched the people that they've like referred to, and I don't see it. And I feel like maybe that's because I am a female YouTuber watching another female YouTuber, and I'm kind of doing the same thing, so I can respect it a bit more.
It's like a general, strange social rule that girls aren't supposed to do things ever. No things!
In doing sketch comedy, being a guy allows you to take on so many more characters, I suppose, because as soon as you apply the fact of being female to any character, it just changes it. Like, we often will talk about doing a sketch. One was I was going to be like a crazy dentist and just kill someone in my dentist chair, and we talked about switching it around and having the guy be the dentist and me the victim, and that immediately changes things. I thought, oh, that might get a bit creepy actually if a male dentist sort of kills a female patient. It's just different.
In comedy sketches on YouTube, female roles, where there are any, are often played by men. Is this because there's a lack of female YouTubers, or because there's something inherently funny about men playing women? In the third Becoming YouTube video, I cast Crabsticks as a female receptionist. Was that sexist? Because I could have cast a woman in that role, except Chris in a blonde wig and a dress is funny, right? Also, that character was kind of ditzy, so if I'd cast a woman, would it have been more sexist? Was writing that character in the first place sexist? See, all the other characters in that sketch were men, and they were either dicks or idiots or both. There was the hate-fueled pizza-guzzling slob, the boss of YouTube who drowned kittens for a living, the googly employee who ran up several flights of stairs because he was too dumb to use the elevator. It's not as though men came out of that sketch any better, and yet should I have made that receptionist as strong and independent and likeable as heck because she's a woman, and would that have been as funny? This is a minefield of gender politics. It would have been easier not to write that character at all. Or is that worse? Easier is worse, right? Would I cast a dude in that role again if I had the chance and if it were funny? I think so. My worry is, and this is uncomfortable to talk about, but don't worry, there's a big musical number coming up in a minute, I swear. My worry is that men, many men, some men, and, okay, dare I say it, a fair few women, don't want women or other women to be funny and creative, because funny and creative suggests intelligence. And many men, and a fair few women, don't want women to be. Fucking hell. Then again, there's only one surefire way to decide which is better, female YouTubers or male YouTubers. It's the only way to decide anything in the 21st century. A singing competition. I've come to YouTube HQ in the heart of London's glittering Soho to pit male YouTuber against female YouTuber. Skin on skin, a YouTube nation divided. It's time for an epic sing-off.
Oi, excuse me.
Just doing a piece to camera. Sorry.
You think you are waltzing in like you own the place?
It's for becoming YouTube.
Never heard of it.
Where's the nice lady who usually works here? The one with the blonde hair, bit ditzy, great teeth.
Quit.
Quit?
Yeah, she can hack it. I can send you in.
Right, if you could, we'll just keep doing
Carry
the...
on, love. I've got this handled.
So at YouTube HQ, I propose an epic sing-off. Representing female YouTubers and Irishmen, it's Hazel Hayes, aka Chewing Sand. But first up, representing men like me, except better than me, it's Kick the PJ! We'll add the echo in afterwards.
Terrible.
Mess.
I am the very model of a YouTube individual. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know my YouTube history, a sexy filter buddy G. I didn't choose the so-called YouTube life, the YouTube life chose me. Pikachu's my homeboy and my bedroom is our picker. And my sensitive side and big green eyes and accent make the fangirl swoon. My sleepover with Crabsix vid is teeming with a lot of views. A lot of views. Shoes. Kangaroos? Aha! The homosexual undertones make big waves on the shipping news.
The homosexual undertones make big waves on the shipping news. The homosexual undertones make big waves on the shipping news. The PJ Crabsix slash Big Ping makes big waves on the shipping news.
My videos might sometimes seem absurdly hallucinatory, but my drugs of choice are tea and chocolate tea and cake and then more tea. In short, it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a YouTube individual.
I can recite the 100 most subscribed and quote accounts historical. From Charlie is so cool like to some Pepper Jack, Skep, Dan, and Phil. I've watched all of Slow's Ovo and thumbed up his bits just for the crack. But Marcus Butler, shit girls do his precious time, I won't get back. I've tripped a line, fantastic for good morning, sunshines, Alex Day. Unnecessary honor is my taxidermic protege. My audience retention stats are amongst the best I've ever seen. Keen, mean, obscene. Ah, I've got it. And the author's crazy famous now like Mad Boss Jack from Jack and Dean.
The author's crazy famous now like Mad Boss Jack from Jack and Dean. The author's crazy famous now like Mad Boss Jack from Jack and Dean. The author's crazy internet famous now like Mad Boss Jack from Jack and Dean.
I've more Irish charm than Stephen Byrne and bigger balls than Brian. Sure, I've covered songs by Sheeran and sung that infernal nonsense pinafore. In short, it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a YouTube individual. Hello.
Hello. I've slept more English tea than any man from here to Timbuktu, and now girls want to marry me, and it seems that a fair few boys do too.
Analytics prove that guns don't kill YouTubers, dislikes do. So the H upon my chest isn't H phrasal, it's H for fuck you.
If you kicked out, kick the PJ who'd tell stories brave and whimsical.
If you spat at Chewing Sand, you'd make sure Otter remained invincible.
In short, with more than a smattering of YouTube channel strategy. You'll say a better YouTuber has never ever sat a G.
You said a better YouTuber has never ever said a G. You said a better YouTuber has never ever said a G. You said a better YouTuber has never...
For our prowess on the YouTubes, we are plucky and adventurous. The social media platform that will redefine the century. Man matters vegetable, animal, and minerals.
I am the very model.
I am the very model of the YouTube individual.
If you become a prominent female YouTuber, you've got that over your head of, you know, you're going to be the big prominent female YouTuber and you have to be a role model and stuff like that, and that probably makes a lot of girls think a lot more seriously about it than maybe they, like, if they just continue to relax and not worry about it, they might enjoy it more.
I'm not just assuming that I'm a role model. I've had messages from girls saying that they chose their A-levels based on my A-levels and stuff like that, like scary things. You get the people who dye their hair the same colour as me, that happens quite a lot, but then the A-levels thing was a bit weird.
I don't let possible thoughts about me being a role model influence my creativity, in the sense that I don't ever think this is my idea. What will this do to the people that are watching it? Like, how will 13-year-old girls see this? I always just think of my idea and do it because I want to do it.
The most important thing is to create stuff that you think is good and that you like and that you're proud of and that you would watch.
I'm not a life coach. You know, I've been through the wars, but I never saw myself as someone to look up to, so it's amazing, really.
I think we're both pretty good role models. We don't do anything.
Yeah.
terrible.
We're not massive junkies.
No.
Yeah.
And if we were, we wouldn't make videos about it.
We might. Side channel.
Side channel video, yeah.
Dan and Phil shoot up.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give everything could get sponsored. There you go.
Yeah.
Talk to Frank.
Male YouTubers like Dan and Phil and Hank find that boys and girls alike look up to them as role models, but it seems that boys in general aren't as comfortable looking up to female YouTubers as their role models. Boys, once again, are struggling with the notion of feminine strength. At its worst, this can manifest itself on YouTube and in life in the negative comments that women receive. Some people would argue that men are just better at brushing off this kind of stuff. Is that true? And why should it be? Or is the online hate that women receive just worse?
I feel like maybe the hate that's aimed at us is on kind of slightly different topics. More, they'll aim for how you look. Like I've had a few things like calling me fatty, and I'm like, I am perfectly happy with the way that I am, so that's definitely not going to get to me. They're kind of going for the wrong things with me. But I know that other girls might get that and kind of feel suddenly self-conscious about it.
All of the worst comments I get are from guys. About 80% of my subscribers are female, but most of my comments are from males. And all of the rude ones, like the horrible hate that I get, is all from guys.
I think we're nearly better equipped to deal with that because we're used to it. Men aren't really used to that as much. I mentioned in one vlog about walking down the road one day and being heckled by a load of builders. That happens every day. You go to a club and some guy assumes it's okay to grab your ass or call you some stupid name. You do something wrong in life, or women in general, if they're with the wrong guy, they get called a slut and he's a hero. That's just something that women are used to.
I got really upset. My first dislike, I think I cried in a corner somewhere, but now I'll get any kind of comments that are rude and I'm just like, yeah, I'm used to hearing that. And I'll say something back to them like, oh, your personality sounds nice. I stand up for myself now.
People calling me a stupid slut or saying crazy weird sexual shit about me, I just try and laugh it off. I try and think, what must that person's life be like? That this is the best thing they have to do with their day, say this weird shit at me.
I used to be really self-conscious. When I was younger, I was bullied and teased a lot about like my teeth and my eyes and everything. And once I started YouTubing and I started getting the hate comments and I started getting used to them, I just thought, why don't I just show people that you can, you don't have to be a model to be on YouTube. And I think it is slowly changing. It's not so much about looks anymore, but I think, girls starting YouTube are afraid of being judged.
Of the 19 YouTubers interviewed so far in Becoming YouTube, only 5 have been female, despite the addition of Emma and Lindsay this week. In choosing who to interview for this series, I had to make a judgment call. Do I reflect the YouTube community as it is in 2013, with its glaringly obvious and rather sad imbalance between men and women, or do I aim for more of a 50-50 split, but in so doing end up featuring some female YouTubers primarily because they're female? And that would have been lame, just tokenism. I wish more girls were making amazing stuff on YouTube, because those that are do get noticed. Emma Blackery's meteoric rise to YouTube stardom over the past few months is a case in point. Yesterday she smashed through 100k subs. So if you are a girl and you're thinking of YouTubing but haven't yet, then give it a go. YouTube is crying out for you. But please, be good. Please. And that means taking risks. Makeup gurus are great on that. I'm not dissing the makeup gurus, but it doesn't have to be that way. Be a girl and be funny. Be musical. Be smart and intelligent and forthright. Have opinions and change the world. Don't play it safe, because I'm not sure you can afford to. Next week's Becoming YouTube, and by next week's I mean is about musicians. For as long as I can remember, it's been my dream to become a crazy internet famous YouTube musician, so that should be interesting. In the meantime, let me know your thoughts about girls on YouTube, and here are some final words of encouragement from the YouTube Digerati.
We just should encourage more. I mean, the girls I know who do vlog are fantastic.
And I suppose if there are any girl vloggers out there trying to get going, you've just got to do it and just ignore everything that comes your way, because you've got what you want to do, and you've got to. The audience, if you make it, the audience will come. That's the rule. Field of Dreams.
YouTube has been so male-dominated for so long that it's become just something that's expected. Oh, the guys are going to do better than the girls. And I think a lot of people who take up YouTube want to be YouTube famous. A lot of them want to get well known, and they think I'm not going to be because I'm female. And there is room for female YouTubers. There's loads of room, but you just gotta have the guts to go for it.
But I would encourage any girls that want to do it to do it.
Yeah.
Because they've got as much chance of doing well as a guy would, I think.
Start vlogging if you're a girl, please. Hopefully your content's good and I might watch you.
The life of someone with a vagina is no less valid than mine, as long as they're doing interesting things.
Well, Violet is a pretty girl. Her legs are long and her hair is curled, and her smile's been known to make grown men go stupid. But if you look below the skin and you find out where that lady's been, you'll be sure to stay the hell away from Cupid.
Violet wants it her way or the highway, but she'll never stay, she's on her way.
The bigger issue is like not being uncomfortable sharing ideas that might be uncomfortable for people. And the how to do that is to be very careful and approach it very thoughtfully. And I think you did a great job of that with the Nerdfighter video, by the way.
I've slapped more English tea than any man from here to Timbuktu, and now girls want to marry me, and it seems that a fair few boys do too.
Analytics prove that guns don't kill YouTubers. Dislikes due to the H upon my chest is an H phrase, and it's H for fuck you.
If you...
As soon as the arms move, there's a shadow.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so